All-Star Western number 8, written by Justin Gray and Jimmy Palmiotti, art by Moritz. We left off last issue with Jonah getting into a fight club, and then he has to fight with this deadly woman that he saw earlier, named, I think it was like ZB or something. Also, there's Nighthawk and Cinnamon running around, that there are other vigilantes down in New Orleans. Just deal. So this issue picks up. Nighthawk and Cinnamon are going around. There's a anarchist group called the August 7, I believe, that are blowing up stuff because they don't like minorities. And so, yeah, they're going around and trying to find who supplied the August 7 with the explosives, so they're just attacking a bunch of stuff. Jonah is in the fight club doing his battle stuff, but before we get to that, the one narrating all this is Dr. Arkham, who basically, he didn't get invited to either of these things. So right now, he's just chilling out, smoking some opium, and getting laid. He's having the time of his life. Like, I cannot understand that. So, cut to Jonah. He's fighting this woman, and it is just a all-out, no-holds-barred fight, but he's not really landing a lot of hits on her. Like, she's drawing a lot of blood, but all he's doing is managing to throw her around a little bit. And in the end, he ends up getting him, like, knocked down on his back, and she gets on top of him and says, like, oh, I like you, gives him a kiss, and then one of the men out in the audience, who I believe was the one who told Jonah to go in there and fight, gets Z's attention and holds up a card with 7 dots on it, meaning I guess he's part of the club now. So then we cut back to Arkham. The cops are raiding his place, and they're like, oh, yes, where were the opium police? You're under arrest. And he's like, oh, I'm actually doing a study on opium because I am a doctor, and that is what I do. And he's like, yeah, all right, sure. And then Arkham gets thrown in jail for a while. So, cut to Jonah. He is currently in a bathtub, and Z is... I'm calling her Z. They don't say her name enough. I think it's ZC. There you go. Got it off. So ZC is tending to his wounds and whatnot. And she's like, oh, you got a lot of scars here. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, oh, I like them. It's like, because you're crazy. But regardless, she offers up saying, hey, we want you to be part of our club. Because one of the guys said that you also hate immigrants. And we think you being Confederate soldier and whatnot, you're probably super into, like, what we're planning to do. And he's like, cool. So, when do I meet the people in the club? And she's like, first things first, you got to prove yourself. There's a boat with a bunch of immigrants out on the dock. It's coming in tonight. We need you to blow it up. And he's like, what if I don't want to? And she's like, you're gonna. Because, like, we have offered you this, so you're smart to take it. So she's like, all right, well, I'm going to need some explosives. And they're like, oh, don't worry about that. You'll meet a guy down at the docks. So then we cut back to the place where Nighthawk, Cinnamon, and Jonah are meeting up afterwards. And Hex just tells them, like, all the stuff that went on. They're also wondering where Arkham is because he's not around. But, you know, he's an adult. He can handle himself. But then Hex is like, okay, so they want me to blow up a boat. And unless you guys have a better idea, we're just going to go ahead and do that. And they're like, well, we haven't found the other members of the August 7. You've got 3 of them. You can name 3 of them. So maybe we just grab them and try to make them talk. And Jonah's like, they're not going to talk. So I think we just go ahead with blowing up the boat idea. And Jonah starts to make his way out to, you know, do that thing. And Nighthawk and Cinnamon are like, you're not going to kill a bunch of innocent people. And he's like, stop me then. And he takes the necklace that gave Nighthawk his, like, super abilities. And he's like, oh, do you think you can stand up against the gun now? And he just walks off with it. Meanwhile, cut to Arkham in jail. He's, like, being held up against the wall by this big, brutish guy. And he's like, I didn't mean anything by it, but I'm just saying that maybe that your life of troubles could be traced back to the fact that your mother was a sex worker. And basically, he just has a full-page breakdown here of talking this guy through his mommy issues of, like, why he turned to crime and how it made him feel when his mom brought home strange men. Like, I love this page. This is a fantastic page of just Arkham just, like, psychoanalyzing this guy. And, like, it's just, I love it. It's hard to explain it. Yeah, I think you get it, though. Anyway, the guy who arrested him came in and was like, hey, so we called the people in Gotham you said to call. They actually vouched for you. So I guess you are a doctor. I still don't like you for smoking opium, but you're free to go. And immediately he just starts out like, he's like, oh, thank you so much. I'm sure my compatriots are looking for me. You know, a Mr. Jonah Hex. Jonah Hex, the famed bounty hunter. We're here on a special mission to track down evil anarchists and named the August 7, and we will do nothing but stop them. And then it's revealed that the cop who arrested him is part of the August 7 because, of course, he is. So later that night, Jonah's at the docks. He meets up with another man. He's like, hey, you guys who got the explosives? And he's like, I got something even better for you. And he pries open a box, and inside is Arkham. And he's like, God damn it, Arkham, what did you tell them? And then we see the whole group of the August 7, which includes the cop, the 3 people we saw last issue, and then some random woman that I'm unfamiliar with, but she's here. So immediately they're like, all right, so what are you going to do? And they're like, well, here's the thing. We thought you're one of us. You fooled us. We don't like being fooled. So we're going to blow up that boat. But the difference now is you're also going to be on that boat. So they bind up Hex and Arkham and start rowing their way across the harbor to get onto the boat. And that's where we leave off. It's good. I do want to say next issue, surprisingly enough, is a tie-in to Night of the Owls, the Batman event going on. I say surprisingly enough because that whole event is structured around it being one specific night, and this is the 1800s. So I'm curious to see how they're going to pull that off. But with this issue, I liked it. I really like, strangely enough, Arkham stuff. I think that just giving him this role of like bumbling his way through things was a fantastic choice, and it was funny the whole way throughout. Just the way that they show Arkham's expressions between the fear of like possibly angering this man while doing his psychoanalysis to just the face he makes while he's smoking opium. All this is fantastic. So hats off to the artist Moritat. But no, it's that was, in terms of the backdrop story of the August 7, I don't know. It's fine. It's not anything great yet. Maybe it can get there, but it just feels to me like, okay, so we traded in one secret society that's doing bad things for another secret society that's doing bad things. And mind you, the Night of the Owl storyline revolves around the Court of the Owls, which is another secret society doing bad things. If these all manage to tie together, I'll be very impressed, but it just doesn't feel like it's there yet. So overall, I'm going to give this issue a 7. I think it's good. I've already explained why. I don't have to say anything else. So we'll see what happens next issue in the Night of the Owls tie-in.